The room fell silent. My brother stared at the documents. My mother couldn't stop crying. My father kept reading the first page over and over, as if reading it again would somehow change the truth. It didn't. For years, they believed Marcus had rescued this family. But every mortgage payment, every business bailout, every luxury vacation, every hospital bill had come from one person. Me. The daughter they called useless. And they still had no idea that this was only half the story. Marcus threw the documents onto the table. This has to be fake. The lawyer calmly adjusted his glasses. Everything has been verified.
Claire looked at me.
You planned this. I smiled.
No.
I prepared for it. My father finally spoke. Why would you buy the mortgage? I looked at him. Because the bank was about to take the house. What? They gave you 90 days. My mother gasped. You knew. I knew, because the bank contacted me. You never told us. I laughed softly. If I had, would you have listened? Nobody answered. The truth was painful. I had saved our family home. Yet somehow, Marcus became the hero. The lawyer handed Marcus another file. This contains every payment made over the last 8 years. Marcus opened it.
His face changed.
Mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, roof repairs, new plumbing, the kitchen renovation, every receipt, every invoice, every transfer, signed by one company, Harper Holdings. Marcus frowned. I've never heard of this company. I smiled. You've heard of it. You just never knew it was mine. Claire whispered. That's impossible. I reached into my handbag, pulled out a small black folder. Inside was the incorporation certificate. Founder and CEO, Evelyn Harper. Marcus slowly sat down. You own Harper Holdings? Yes. You own all of it? 100%. The room felt smaller. For the first time, no one looked at Marcus. They were all looking at me. Marcus stood up. So what? You have money. Congratulations.
He tried to laugh.
I built my own company. I nodded. You did. He smiled. Then I added. With my capital. His smile disappeared. I placed another folder on the table. 3 years ago, your construction company owed the bank $2.4 million. He froze. You were 96 hours away from bankruptcy. Claire slowly looked at him. Marcus swallowed. I fixed it.
No.
I did. I slid a bank transfer across the table. Anonymous investor. $2,500,000. Marcus stared at it. I thought. I know what you thought. You thought an investment firm believed in you. I leaned forward. They didn't. I did. Claire suddenly stood. This is ridiculous. You expect us to believe you've been paying for everything? I smiled.
No.
I expect you to remember. What does that mean? Your boutique. She froze. When the landlord doubled your rent. You cried in your car. Her eyes widened. You remember? I remember because I was sitting 2 cars away. You called Marcus. He said he couldn't help. Claire looked at Marcus. He lowered his head. You received a phone call 2 days later. She nodded slowly. The landlord said an investor wanted to support women-owned businesses. Tears formed in her eyes. It was you. Yes. You saved my business? Yes. Why? I looked at her. Because you were family. Claire burst into tears. For the first time, my mother spoke honestly. I thought. She couldn't continue. I thought Marcus was doing all of this. So did everyone. I was proud of him. I know. I should have been proud of you. Silence. She looked at me. I failed you. I smiled sadly. You didn't fail me. You ignored me. Those words hit harder than any scream. Marcus finally exploded. So, what do you want? Money. The house. My company? I slowly shook my head. I don't want anything you own. He laughed bitterly. Then why are you doing this? I looked directly into his eyes. Because you never thanked me. The room became completely silent. Not once. In 8 years. Had anyone asked who helped us, they simply assumed, and assumptions destroy families. As everyone sat in stunned silence, my lawyer's phone rang. He answered, listened, then looked directly at me. They've started. I frowned. Already? He nodded. Marcus stood. Who's started what? The lawyer closed his phone. The forensic audit. Marcus laughed nervously. What audit? I looked at him calmly. The audit of your construction company. His face turned white. Claire grabbed his arm. Marcus. What audit? I stood up. You've been spending my investment for years. I simply asked independent accountants to find out exactly where every dollar went. Marcus whispered. No. I smiled. Oh, yes. And if you've used my money honestly, you have nothing to fear. The lawyer closed his briefcase. But if you haven't, he looked directly at Marcus. The next time we meet, it won't be in this house. It'll be in court. Marcus's knees almost gave way, because for the first time, he wasn't afraid of losing his company. He was afraid of what the audit would uncover. People think revenge is about taking everything from someone. They're wrong. The coldest revenge is letting people lose everything they stole by their own hands. 3 days after the forensic audit began, Marcus stopped sleeping. Claire stopped smiling. My parents stopped defending him, because every hour, a new secret surfaced, and every secret had my name on it. The audit took 14 days. 14 days. That felt like 14 years. Marcus called me constantly. I never answered. Claire left voice messages. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I listened, then deleted every one. The accountants reviewed every transaction from the last 6 years. Every invoice. Every loan. Every transfer. Then they found it. Not one mistake. Not two. 27. Marcus hadn't just used my investment. He had secretly borrowed against my shares, without my knowledge, to finance luxury cars, private vacations, a beach house, designer watches, and business deals that never existed. He had been living like a millionaire, using my financial credibility. The boardroom was silent. 8 directors sat around the polished oak table. Marcus stood at the front, sweating. I walked in quietly. No one expected me. One director smiled. So, this is Evelyn Harper. Another nodded. We've heard a lot about you. Marcus interrupted. This is unnecessary. The chairman raised his hand.
No.
It's overdue. The forensic accountant connected his laptop. The screen lit up. One slide. Then another. Then another. Bank statements. False invoices. Personal expenses disguised as company purchases. Every slide made Marcus smaller. Finally, the chairman asked one question. Mr. Harper, did you knowingly conceal the identity of your principal investor? Marcus couldn't answer. He simply lowered his head. The chairman closed the folder. Your resignation is accepted. Just like that, the man my parents called their greatest success lost everything. Claire came to my office. She looked exhausted. I didn't know. I offered her a seat. She didn't take it. I believed Marcus. He told me he built everything himself. I nodded. He told all of you. Tears filled her eyes. He even used my boutique as collateral. What? The audit found it. He never told me. For the first time, I realized Claire wasn't just part of the betrayal. She had also been manipulated. Not innocent, but not fully aware either. She looked at me. Can you save the boutique? I smiled gently. I already did once. Silence. I'm not doing it again. A week later, my mother invited everyone to dinner. No celebration. No laughter. Just silence. Marcus looked older. My father couldn't meet my eyes. My younger sister finally spoke. I owe you an apology. I looked at her. She continued. I called you useless. I mocked your life. I judged you without knowing anything. She began crying. I became the kind of person I promised I'd never become. My father finally stood. Evelyn, I spent my entire life teaching my children that character mattered more than money. He looked at Marcus. Then I ignored the child, who actually lived by those values. No one spoke. Sometimes, silence is the loudest confession. Marcus quietly slid the house keys across the table. I can't accept this house. I looked at the keys. I know. It never belonged to me.
No.
It belonged to our family. He nodded, and I forgot the difference. My mother whispered, "Will you sell it?" I looked around the room. Every birthday, every Christmas, every memory was inside those walls. Then I smiled.
No.
My father looked surprised. "I'm putting it into a family trust." Marcus frowned. "A trust? So no one can ever use it for personal gain again." Everyone became silent. Even after everything, I wasn't taking the house away. I was protecting it, the way I always had. Months passed. Marcus took a regular construction job. For the first time in his life, he worked without pretending. Claire reopened a much smaller boutique. This time, without borrowed money. My parents downsized into a modest home. They finally learned to live within their means. As for me, I expanded Harper Holdings internationally. Not because I wanted to prove anyone wrong, because I had finally stopped trying to prove myself to people who had never truly seen me. One afternoon, Marcus visited my office. He carried a small envelope. "I've been paying this back."
Inside
Was the first repayment check. It wasn't much, but it was honest. "I'm sorry." I looked at him. "I know. Can you forgive me?" I smiled. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's deciding not to carry someone else's mistakes forever. He nodded, then quietly asked, "Will we ever be a family again?" I thought for a long moment, then answered, "That depends." "On what?" "On whether you want a family or another opportunity." He understood exactly what I meant. People still ask me why I never sued Marcus, why I didn't send him to prison, why I let him keep rebuilding his life. Because prison would have been easy. Living every day, knowing the woman you called useless, was the reason you ever succeeded. That's a sentence no judge could ever impose. Marcus didn't lose because I destroyed him. He lost because the truth finally caught up with him. And the truth never needs revenge, only time. If this story taught us anything, it's this. Never measure someone's worth by what they choose not to show. The quietest person in the room may be carrying everyone else. Welcome to the School of Revenge, where every betrayal has a lesson. If you enjoyed today's story, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Tell us, could you forgive your family after a betrayal like this? We'll see you in the next lesson.